Hello, all my HEMA boys and HEMA girls. How are you guys doing today? So, as you guys may know, the classic the Arnold Sports Festival has hosted HEMA, I think, for a couple of years now, and they just had their last tournament. And the Royal Arts Fencing Academy, who I believe helps run and manage the fencing events at the Arnold, came out with their video of the men's military saber finals. So I thought we would watch it. I thought that we could learn from some of the mistakes that we see and learn from some of the good things that we see, just maybe to make ourselves better fencers. I was very excited for this tournament. Obviously, the Arnold Sports Convention is very famous and very high profile, and I'm glad to see HEMA in it. This is the first year that I was actually aware of this. I knew that there was always a fencing classic, but never a HEMA division. So this is very exciting for me. There was also another YouTuber, the Poor Historian. You guys should check him out. He's very good. He did a little live stream while on his journey to be in this tournament. So something I was kind of looking forward to. Uh, so yeah, without further ado, let's just jump into it, guys.
So, on the right of the Royal Fencing Arts Academy, the very same people who organized this tournament, we have Mr. Frank Zamary representing Blue. Since he's part of this organization that's running this event, maybe we'll see some point fixing. I mean, I have no idea. We'll see if that comes into play later on in this match. So on the left now we have Mr. Sean Martin of the Corsair Fencing Club representing Red. Now, as you'll see, these guys are fighting on a traditional Olympic-style fencing pist. So obviously, lateral movement is going to be discouraged. Even worse, these guys are fencing on a sort of small stage, so any circling around will certainly result in these guys falling off this stage and breaking their ankles. So we will definitely not be seeing much lateral movement here. This first point is very interesting. You can see these guys measuring each other here. Mr. Sean Martin is playing very defensively. I can appreciate that. But watch what happens here. Beautiful cut there by Mr. Sean Martin. Just a straight horizontal cut, leading with the strong of that saber to first catch any number one cuts that may be coming his way, while also at the same time attacking with the point or with the tip of his saber, landing him a point, both defensive and an offensive move. I think that's really fantastic. Something I'm definitely going to incorporate with my own fencing. Beautiful cut, and you can even see the judge here plainly motioning to the Mr. Sean Martin, but they give it to Blue anyway. Oh, point fixing! Oh no! Oh, the Arnold Fencing Classic has become corrupt, you guys. Oh God, no! No! Of course, it's classic. Just HEMA, just shenanigans. It's fine. And this is obviously not an intentional thing. I would never say that. Of course, it's not. Just a mistake, an obvious classic HEMA mistake. Very good cut to the hands. Then followed by from Blue, a torso cut to Red. Quite sloppy from these two. Didn't really look like Blue contacted that well. And I think he agrees with me. He obviously declines this point. I think that was a good call, but he could have been awarded that point. So very good sportsmanship on Mr. Zamary's part. Maybe he's not point fixing. Again, a very nice cut there. So here we see a really nice feint from Blue. Starting off with a basic number one cut, he then swings around, feinting at a number two cut, forcing his opponent into terce. And then finishing the feint, swings back around to that very same first open side. Really nice feint from Blue. Mr. Zamary being very aggressive here, almost telegraphing his cuts. And you see here Sean Martin definitely capitalized on that, knew exactly where Frank was going to come down from above, so he just sniped that leg in anticipation, possibly sort of gaming a rule set or whatever you would like to call it, because he was caught in an afterblow after that. But these are up to the individual tournament's rules, and I'm not going to argue with them. Very good leg snipe by Mr. Martin there. That thrust, maybe not so well placed, but certainly looked nice. And a double, so no points awarded. Again, Frank Zamary contacting a little bit with that hand here, declines the point. I think I think it was a good cut. If he had just been an inch or two more, he would have landed. But again, good sportsmanship from Frank Zamary. Glad to know he's not point fixing, guys. We solved this case. Glad to know that. So Mr. Zamary being very aggressive here, almost telegraphing his cuts. You can tell though that it's not a complete telegraph. You can see him winding up for a number one cut, but at the very end turning his hand to come to a number two. A very classic and well used feint by saber fencers and really all fencers alike. But again, being very, very aggressive as he has been this whole fight. Right, and there you can see Mr. Sean Martin playing defensively as he has been, landing a cut in the middle of Mr. Zamary's preparation. And then here, this point, I do not agree with this decision whatsoever. From that first move from Mr. Sean Martin, that leading with the strong of the saber and then simultaneously attacking with the tip, he goes for this move again here. And it seems to have worked just fine. You can see it makes contact with the mask. Again, beautiful, beautiful move, being defensive and offensive at the same time. I love to see that. But right after, I would say a little bit too hard of a strike to the back of the head there by Mr. Zamary, and apparently the judges might have thought so too, because that seems to be the only thing that they focused on during this exchange. Because after this, he is awarded 2 points, which I don't agree with. Sean Martin definitely covered his line and connected with Zamary's mask just before that. So at this point, the score is tied up, and they are going to go into sudden death. So very, very interesting to see a sudden death round. So the first exchange for the gold medal. Again, that same move. Again, leading with that strong and attacking with that tip. I mean, it seems to work a lot for him. I don't think that they're going to give it to him because it may have been a double. Decent thrust. Again, not placed too well with an afterblow by Frank Zamary, so they are not going to award it. No afterblows, no doubles in sudden death. And for the final point and win of this match, you can see Mr. Martin with a very nice hand snipe, very good footwork, first getting in and then out of the way of any potential afterblow, using that bell guard, turning it up quite far to parry any sort of afterblow. If that bell guard had not been turned so far, he may have suffered a hand snipe afterwards, but very, very good job being offensive and defensive. Simultaneously. Very good hand snipe by Mr. Martin, and very good win on his part. Very interesting to see. I think this was a good tournament. I think these guys are both great fencers. I think Sean Martin did deserve to win. I thought that he displayed better fencing. Was more again defensive and offensive, just like how his first move represents. Very, very, very well done by Mr. Sean Martin and by Frank Zamary as well. I think these guys are very good fencers. Please let me know if you disagree with me. But yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.